Hello class, this is Cornelius. I'm going to be talking to you guys today about credit and if it's overrated. What's credit and what's going on? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the overview, we're going to talk about the definition of credit, what makes up your credit score. We're going to talk about advantages of the credit score, how to build your credit score, and tips how I manage my credit. Now I'm gonna throw in a quick story. I started my credit March of 2019. I went to a car dealership, and I'm gonna later talk about the advantages of credit. But I went to a car dealership. It got me more involved because I didn't know much about it. So I went ahead and took it upon myself to switch majors to business finance. You may have read about that in the forums before about that specific story, but credit is very important, so we're going to go ahead and give a talk about it. I'm very passionate about it. Let's get started. Alright, so what is credit? The definition of credit alone is credit is generally defined as a contract agreement in which a borrower receives a sum of money or something of value and repays the lender at a later date, generally with interest. Okay, so in an instance with credit cards, you are borrowing money. With auto loans, you're borrowing money. With mortgage, you're borrowing money. Anything that you're taking a loan out for, whether that's taking money from a friend, it's a loan, and you have a credit report that reports these type of things. Now, specifically with friends and family and things like that, it may not report to the three major credit bureaus, but it can, yeah, it's still credit. Okay, so everybody is assigned, that is an American citizen, a credit score, and these are in this picture over here what it consists of. So your credit score, it consists of your payment history, the types of credit used, new credit history, length of credit history, and total debt. Okay, so this score goes up to either 830 or 850. One is for like a FICO score, and one is like your general credit score. Now, you guys heard me mention three different credit bureaus, and these are the major credit bureaus that companies will report this to. Like, for instance, Chase. If you are borrowing anything from Chase, they're going to report to TransUnion to tell them, like, hey, this person's been making their on-time payments, and that's the payment history part. The types of credit used, the different types of credit, could be a credit card, it could be a auto loan, it could be a mortgage that you're taking out. Those are your types of credit. New credit history, if you see on the left, I have hard inquiry versus a soft inquiry. So a soft inquiry would typically be, let's say you call to get a credit increase on your card, and they're looking at that credit. They're going to give you a soft inquiry. Or, matter of fact, better yet, when you're looking to rent a home, the homeowner or the landlord can look up your credit. That's a soft inquiry. Now, a hard inquiry was like, if you're going to go to a dealership and you want to purchase a vehicle, they're going to call the credit bureaus to see what your credit score is. And that credit score is basically telling them what are the odds that this person will pay their bills on time. And that's what makes credit very important, is letting companies know, like, I pay my bills on time. Okay, so those are the things that make up the credit score. And here are some benefits. You get approved for money. I just mentioned going to a dealership. You get approved for money. This person makes on-time payments. I'm going to trust them with the loan. Low interest rates. When you have a high credit score, you're less of a risk to that company that's lending you out money, so they're going to charge you less per month, and overall that's going to equal saving money. Who doesn't want to save money? So those are benefits that I just gathered that you get from having a good credit. Where do I start? How do I maintain? Good credit doesn't drop out of the sky. Make strategic choices today that can benefit your tomorrow. Are you responsible? These are questions that you should be asking yourself. What are your spending habits? Do you have healthy spending habits? How can you build your credit score? Those are some questions that I'm going to address. And being responsible is not just going out and saying that you have extra money and just spending it on any and everything. That accounts with your spending habits. Like, what are you spending money on? Are you spending money on gas only and only taking care of your bills and your food? And I'm going to also talk about how you can build your credit score. And you can do that by making smart decisions, paying your bills on time, only borrowing what you have, and using 30% of your limit. So, for example, if you get a new credit card and the bank gives you $1,000 limit. This limit is basically saying this is the amount of money that we're going to allow them to borrow at a time. Okay, so 30% of 1,000 is $300. This is basically telling businesses and companies and lenders specifically that this person isn't that high of a risk. They're not borrowing as much as they can. They're only using 30%. They're managing their credit properly. So I would definitely think about these things and build your credit. Look for a good credit card that satisfies you and for what your spending habits are. Some of them have different benefits for traveling and things like that, or hotels, or even gas or a cash back, just what's important to you. And here are my citations. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and happy end of the semester.